let's talk about marriage. What's the main, kind of tip for either spiritual or material relationships, for a relationship to be successful? Hey, Radharani y'all. So we're here in Bangalore, also known as Bengaluru. It's our first time here and we were blown away just when we landed in the airport. It's so gorgeous, so beautiful, and it's very peaceful and sattvic, Yeah, there's a lot of Brahmins and spirituality going on in South India. There's Tirupati Balaji and the power of the South Indian Brahmins. You can feel it when you enter. And we're at a beautiful resort at the JW Marriott. Look at that, the best devotee. Our Garuda ji is right here. Jai Garuda. Guys, so I just had a reflection here. Like, so much faith we put in people we don't even know, like there was a car and it came and the drivers came and they're like, come, we'll take you to your destination. We took our bags and everything. We don't even know them, but we trusted them to bring us to a location. Right. And then we trusted people with our bags and we don't even know them. They took our bags, who knows where it is now. Yeah. But we chose to trust them, but we don't trust in God because He doesn't exist, although all of this is here. Yeah. So it's something to think about. Kirtan in Bangalore. Yeah. Radisha. With all the wedding celebration stuff, we got our card, going up to the room. Oh yeah. Welcome to the JW. Best part. So many things we can do here. See guys, it's so important to relax and recover and renew. So he had everything. Maharaj Yudhishthira was one of the liberated souls, and therefore for him there was no pleasure in a vast kingdom. For him there was no pleasure in a vast kingdom, good wife, obedient brothers, happy subjects. Oh my God, there's our heaven right there. Yoga studio. We have a choice, yoga studio or fitness. Definitely fitness. She knows. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, isn't that so cool? This is where we're here for a wedding that's going on. And we're going to share a little bit of Kirtan and the holy names here. They requested us to come over because they really are inspired by the Kirtan. And so we're really excited. Here's the venue where it's going to happen. There's the stage over there. Oh yeah, holy names. We get everyone to chant and dance. Radharani y'all. So look, we're here in Bengaluru, South India, and as I had mentioned before, that we're here for this wedding, and so we were thinking, let's talk about marriage, and we're gonna share one of the main tips for successful relationships, whether that's with your brother, with your mother, with your husband or wife. What's the main, kind of tip for either spiritual or material relationships, for a relationship to be successful, right? Like, people are getting married right now. Why have they invited us to do Kirtan at their wedding? What's the key for a successful relationship? What would you say, Yogi?
I would say the key to a successful relationship is, first of all, putting the other person in the center and taking yourself out of the center, and then beyond that, putting Krishna in the center. So first, let's talk about putting others in the center. Now, the truth is, whenever you put yourself in the center of any situation or relationship, that would look like something like, but why don't they do this for me? Why don't they please me? Why don't they make me happy? then you'll never actually find true happiness in that formula or in that equation where you're putting yourself in the center. Because as spirit souls, our nature is to give. Our nature is to be giving love and to be giving respect and to be giving things or you know, to be giving basically. And that's our true nature. I mean, look at it from a mundane point of view. If you don't have any brothers or sisters, if you don't have any family around you, you're gonna get a pet dog, a pet cat, maybe some pet fish. And what do you do when you get a pet? You serve the pet, and you give it love, and you put the pet in the center. Oh, what does the pet need? The pet needs food, like that. So the first step would be putting the other person in the center. Now, why do you need to put Krishna in the center? That's what I ask you.
Okay. Why do we need to put Krishna in the center? Well, Krishna is the ultimate source of joy, happiness. He's the source of everything. He's God. I don't know, let's say an iPhone. How do you recharge an iPhone? You gotta plug it into its source, right?
Yeah.
You gotta plug it into the source of the electrical, what do you want to call it? The motherboard of electricity. You plug it in. The same way we're spirit sparks, spirit souls. What is our origin? Krishna, God. And if we're not connected with God, we don't function, we're unhappy.
Right.
Right?
Right.
We're incomplete. So in the same way, even in a relationship, you know, like a brother relationship, it's only working when we have Krishna in the center, which is the source of happiness, of satisfaction, and also we have something that we serve together. We have a common purpose. We have a goal. We have the same purpose in life, like a marriage. You know, they always tell us, the elders tell us, you need to marry someone that has the same values as you, the same principles as you, right? The same base as you. Something in the center to hold the relationship together. It can't be our selfish needs and desires, because that's going to split us apart. So Krishna is that glue. Krishna is that, but quite literally, he's the glue in our life because we belong to him. So Krishna is, the center of our relationship, and we have realized from personal experience that if we don't put Krishna in the center of our relationship, it crumbles, because I have desires, I have my own mind. You know, the other person has their own mind, their own desires. Correct. What happens? Boom, fire. But when you follow Krishna's desires, Krishna's mind, Krishna's instructions, then there's no question of what I feel or what he feels.
Yeah.
It's Krishna's system. And you follow Krishna's system for a successful relationship. Now think about it. Are you going to follow your own mind's whims and your own mental speculation? I think I know better how the relationship works or functions. Or are you going to follow God, who created all of us? His law book, his rules. And trust me, trust us, if you follow his laws, how a relationship should function, how it should work, how he should be the center, and we should work together to please Krishna. And Krishna's senses, immediately there's no problems, there's no complaints, everything is so flowing, it's flowing like the river. What's the river here in South India? Must be some famous river. Anyways, Tirupati Balaji ki jai. So that's the secret, guys, and no joke. Even these people that have invited us for the wedding, they know this. It's why they want kirtan in their wedding, because they know without God's blessing, without God's grace, without God being the center of the relationship, it's gonna crumble, it's going to fall apart, because things change, people change, but what doesn't change is the absolute truth. And the absolute truth is we are spirit souls, and God is our shelter and savior and protector. He's the enjoyer, he's the proprietor, and he's the best friend of every living being. That truth doesn't change. I change, my feelings change, my emotions change, but God doesn't change. So when we remember that, it's so simple. You keep God in the center, you follow God's rules. Technically, when you surrender, when you're dependent on God, that's when you're really independent, because you're free, you're happy. Yeah. You want to add something to that? I just went on a whole rant.
That was beautiful. And so God has this rule book. So what is the rule book saying? And one verse came to mind, which is Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Adokshaje Ahituki Apritihata Yena Atma Suprasidati.
Right.
So we're at an Indian wedding right now. And Indian weddings are all about dharma. So you're trying to follow your dharma as a patni, as a wife, your dharma as a pati, as a husband. You're trying to follow your dharma as a son. It's all about dharma, doing your duty. So Krishna says there's also a duty for all humans, pumsam, paro dharmo, the highest duty, and that duty is to connect to the Supreme Lord. That duty is to reconnect to Krishna and to serve him unconditionally and constantly. And when you do this, look at how loving God is. He said, when you do this, you will become happy. So still it's about us for him. It's never about him. He's not like, serve me and make me happy. He says, serve me because that's who you are and you will become happy. So it's about us. So he's saying that perform your duties as a husband, as a wife, as a mom, as a father, and at the same time, do your duty to Krishna.
The highest duty.
The highest duty. And
Right.
if you connect and do that highest duty, then you will become happy. You will become truly happy.
Right, right.
And like, what is the point of getting married? It's children. That's the point. It's generating children. Creating children. But look, as parents, what do you want your children to do? Do you want them to become ordinary materialists in the world that are earning money, that are drinking and partying? Or do you want them to become spiritualists? Do you want them to adhere to the old traditions of our land? Like, this is South India, Lord Ram. This is Lord Ram's land. So what did Lord Ram come here to teach us? He taught us that there's family life, and he taught us in the center of family life is always trying to get beyond this material world and going back home, back to God, and to the spiritual world where we truly belong. So this ashram, this marriage, this grasta ashram, any relationship is meant for you to realize God and for you to transcend the material world, which is full of suffering, and go to the spiritual world, which is full of, what is it full of?
Happiness, bliss, satisfaction.
Yeah.
No old age, no death, no disease. And one last point about marriage before we go and do our kirtan. We're so excited to give these guys the holy name because that's the real treasure. It's the real wealth. I mean, me and Yogi, we showed up here in the morning. I mean, last night we showed up, and on the plane we were reading Bhagavatam, and there was this verse that talked about Maharaj Yudhishthir. So the 5 Pandavas, right? Everyone knows the 5 Pandavas. They were the most charismatic, heroic heroes of India. They were ruling the whole planet Earth. And it said Maharaj Yudhishthir had obedient, loyal brothers. He had a good, beautiful wife. He had the love of all of his kingdom and his people. He had wealth that even the denizens of heaven wanted. But he was not satisfied by any of it. He didn't want any of it. The only one thing that satisfied him was service to the Lord. When we read that, it resonated so nicely with us. We were like, wow, that's the goal of our life. We're seeing all of this opulence. Check out this place. It's incredible. I don't believe I'm in India still. But honestly, serving the Lord, that's the highest treasure. I would leave this in a second to go back to Vrindavan and do kirtan under the kalpa vriksha with the devotees, because honestly, nothing compares to that happiness. People are looking for happiness. That's the point. So the last point for a successful marriage, successful relationship really is about serving the other person, seeing the other person as a devotee of Krishna, as a part and parcel of Krishna. So like, I have a wife, Yogi has a wife. We consciously endeavor to make sure we don't see them as my wife, or my brother. Yes, God has given them to me in my life so I can help them in their journey, and they can help me in my journey. We're all servants of Krishna. We belong to Krishna. And when we see people with that vision, when you see your wife or your husband with that vision, you will never ever take them for granted. You will never ever step over your boundaries. And we can say this with experience, and also we can see it in the lives of our seniors who have told us about Grihastha Ashram. So really guys, see your partner as a blessing. Don't expect more. Don't treat them like for granted, because it's God's blessing in your life. And if you see the people around you like that, you will always be satisfied, happy, and grateful. So that's our, little, we said 1 tip, but it's 2 tips for you guys. And we're gonna go now and share some kirtan. Cool. Radhishyam.
Hari Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhishyam. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
devotee, huh? Opening for Mataji. Very nice. Gentleman. Gentleman.
Natural talent. Bhakti Pro Salute.